Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm Ken and I'm coming live from Kenya in East Africa. And before I continue, let me just invite you all to the channel. For the returning subscribers as well as for the new viewers, you're so welcome. So today is very clear at this side of the country because we are in the long rain period for the long rains, and I think because of that some of the trees in the compound have already fallen, the branches I mean, and they're just fruits. They are guava trees. They were planted a bit long time ago, I think early in the 90s, and one of the branches, because of the rain, this one has really fallen down, and it was having some ripe guava fruits, and some of our sheep as well as cattle have already eaten. They were just lying here because they are too much. No one really eats them apart from also the monkeys, because we are having monkeys around. They usually come this side just to eat these fruits, and I think they've also contributed to this branch twisting, because if you look at that part, you see it has cracked, and we are gonna be forced to cut it down because it might fall abruptly when maybe some of our cattle are hitting the guavas, and it can break their backbone, and if it does that, we'll be forced to maybe slaughter it, because now treating it is so hard. So because it's a sunny day, and the last time we also spoke, I told you guys that I was going to acquire some cypress seeds. Recently I've been planting the pine trees, the whistling pine trees, and I'm already halfway there. So I also decided because one of you guys requested me to also look at some other species of trees, and the pine tree, the whistling pine, and the cypress trees, I think they come from the same families of trees, same species. And in the morning, before I went for my breakfast, I made some seed bed. This time I was very much prepared, so I took some of my compost soil and added with the soil that was initially in the seed bed, mixed them well, then placed them. So this is how it looks. I know the whistling pine did not want a lot of sun, because I made a mistake. The first time I was planting the whistling pine, I mixed them with the is it the cypress? Yes, yeah, not really cypress, but why am I forgetting? How is the tree called? I'm confusing them with the cypress, but eucalyptus, yes. So I planted the whistling pine together with the eucalyptus, and through that I think I made a mistake, because I realized the cypress trees need shade with a lot of water, while the whistling pine needs sun with moderate water. So if you put them in the same seed bed and you cover the top, one will fail, one will thrive over the other. So in my case, the whistling pine thrived, although the whistling pine was the main tree that I wanted, because I even planted them so many, while the cypress I only planted a few. So I think with that information having, because I did it for the first time, I'm now very much prepared to plant these cypress trees, and hopefully maybe in the next I think 2 to 3 weeks they will have started germinating. So I have my water and my pump, which I'm gonna use to spray. This can over here is the can that I usually use to just sprinkle. So this part you see is where I've made early in the morning. So I'm not gonna cover it just like the way I've covered this one. In the meantime, maybe for 2-3 days I won't really cover it. because if the whistling pine needs sunlight while growing, because I realized at the edges where the sun was hitting, I saw the whistling pine really thriving. And the whistling pine together with the cypress, they are like the same species of trees. So I figured out maybe the cypress also needs light. That's why I'm not gonna cover it just the way I did for this. So the whistling pine, I'm almost through with them. So I'm also realizing some are still growing. You see, this one are just a few of them. There are so many, but I'll just figure a way to plant all of them because I have to. So these are this tree is confusing me. Eucalyptus, yes, these are the eucalyptus that I planted. I only planted a few. They are like less than 20 on the seed bed. I think less than 50, yeah. So let me go and show you I even forgot the cypress seeds. So usually you can either get them in averagely, I think the value depends from place to place, but and also with the distributor. But for the one I acquired goes only for $5, and this is it. It's so black, so dense. So I'm gonna pour some. Let me just sit here. So they're a little bit denser compared to the whistling pine. So I'm gonna just pour a little bit so that you guys are able to see. You see how it's really dense compared to the pine. Yeah, so I'm gonna plant all. How many trees do you think these are? There are so many trees. This little packet you see produces a lot of trees. So this is how it looks. So I'm gonna plant all of them today and wait and see, because all of these I'm doing because I want to have just a small farm, and if you have a farm, one of the most important things to have at your fingertips, so that if you really need them, you can get. One is trees, 2 is cattle, then 3 is machines. So currently I'm working on all of them, although bit by bit. For the machines, I think I'm working on one now, but if I finish one, which is the motorbike, if I finish it, I'm gonna go to the next one, which will be even bigger than a motorbike. Then for the cattle, I'm also working on it, and also for the trees, I'm also working on it. Yeah, so slowly by slowly, we have like a few trees, a few eucalyptus that can really do something now. So even if I wanted to build something, it's just cutting them down and doing the thing. So for these ones that I'm planting now, they'll find their importance or value maybe after some few years, and because I'm planning to plant a lot, they will do something valuable at that time. So these are cypress, and they really need a lot of water. They require so much water. So for this, I'm gonna plant them just next to the river. For those that have never seen, I know for the people I've been following, we have a certain land, both sides of the land there's a stream. So one is permanent, the other one isn't. So I'm gonna plant them on the side that is permanent, but on the river. You know, you are in the village. If I could have done that maybe in urban centers, the authorities could have maybe come to me and maybe told me to cut down the trees. But since we are in the village, actually the land is now deep inside the village. So I'm gonna plant them near a water body, near a water source or a water stream. So let me just plant these, then we see. I'm gonna just sprinkle them, then water. I want, if I add soil, maybe just a little, not really so much soil, just a little sprinkle also, then we'll just leave them. And you know, since it's raining and there's a little bit of storm, there's a little bit of wind whenever it rains. Sometimes, not all of the time. So yesterday it rained so much, and even the past few days, I'd say the whole week. And I've been really patiently waiting for the rains so that I could notice, because you know we have recently done our roofing, and one of the most important things after doing roofing is to check if there's any leakage. And the first time, I think we were really spending time on top of the roof trying to check some places was at Nasto, because we were using some glue. I've forgot the name, maybe I'll remember with time, but we were just sticking it because Nasto's roof is made up of tiles along the edges, and because it's a hidden roof, so you have to make the edges so well. So he was having some problem with some parts, but he resolved the issue. So since we made ours, that was what I've been really waiting to see, if the guys that did the roof did a good work. And because we made it during the dry season, there wasn't really much rain, And you know, I've been really waiting to see. I've never really talked about it, but I think it's something which is so important to see. So whenever it rains, mostly in the morning, I just try to walk, because you know the inside of the house is a little bit dry. So even if there's a drop of water or rain, you'll easily notice. So I've been not all of the time, but sometimes just walk inside just to see if there's any leakage, because if there's a problem, if there's a problem and it doesn't really get solved, no, it has to be solved before any further construction goes on, especially with the ceiling board, because if there's leakage, it destroys the timber for the roofing, the frame, and if you leave it, that point will become weak, and if you put the ceiling board without making repairs, it will destroy the ceiling board, destroy the paint on the wall, and so on. So I'm just saying that the guys that did the roofing did a very good job, because I've walked so far, I've never seen any leakage. You know, it's something that you just monitor with time. Maybe in the future we might have a very heavy storm that might put some challenge on the roofing. You know, for you to know you have a very good roof, your house must withstand heavy storm, because you might find your roof is still standing, but your neighbor's roofs have gone out. Yeah, and I think you see, we used these pieces of steel. These are wall pass, so we use them on the sides of the house. You see, it's there, it's in this corner, it's here. So that one makes the roof it holds the roof with the wall, because also I noticed the guys that were making, you see, these let me just show you. There's this timber that touches the wall. Yeah, leave alone this one. So that one, I also saw them sticking nails, because we used the longest nails we used, I think, were 6 inches, maybe 7 inches. Yeah, so it's a very strong nail and a long one. I think I have some. So I saw them hitting the nail onto the mortar or even brick, so that it holds. So the nail plus this wall pass, you see, it holds the roof with the wall. I think that's the most important part, because if there's storm, it can, and if you don't do that, the whole roof can easily get out. So I think time will also tell. No, roofs are always very stubborn if you don't really make them so well, and if maybe you don't use a very professional personnel to maybe handle it, it might really pose a very huge problem, because if you now try to remove any sheet on top of here, the more you remove it and hit it again, the more you create a hole where the nail gets, and there's a high chance maybe water can seep through, and I don't want us to reach there. So far, I don't know whether I can go in and also just show you. We haven't had any leakage. You know, the guys that did the roofing initially did for my mom's sister, my aunt. So while we were looking for people to do the roofing, my aunt's sister was my aunt, which is my mom's sister, was already doing hers. So my parents, both of them, actually went see and saw their work, saw the roof that they did for the house, and they were also happy with the way that those guys were working. So, and even before that, my aunt tried to refer them, yes, to us. So going was just to check and see how their work is good. So they're the guys that did the roofing, and I haven't really had my aunt complain. So, and also our roofing, let me just go inside and show you. I haven't really seen any water passing through. So no, usually this is the reason why if you're building, you should really take your time and do things bit by bit, because you can find maybe you've done the roofing maybe this week, then next week you start in short, like you're doing things in rush, and maybe later on you find some parts of the house are having a bit of problem, and it forces you, because for example, if you plaster a wall and the wall is having a problem, and let's say you've already painted the wall, you will have to make it again and also repaint it again, which is double work. But if you could have just took your time, check everything first before you move on, it makes works easier, both for you, financially, emotionally, because there's a lot of emotions in building. It's a very hard task. If you see someone, personally, if I see someone having a house he has built, I really respect the guy, however big or small the house is, because there's a lot of work. So if you look at the ground, it's a little bit dusty. So even if I pour water or a drop of water, you can easily notice. Plus our walls are dry, but outside it's so wet. Even some trees are falling because of the storm. So I'm 100% sure that our roof is gonna hold this house for probably maybe even 3 decades or even 4. Also that time will tell, but you know, roofing, those are some things that people renovate. Roofings are the most important part of a house. Is only the foundation and the wall. The rest are just the scale. The rest are just can be easily renovated. So the foundation and the walls are just the skeletal part of it. Even the doors can be renovated. Those one doesn't really have an issue. Although, if you're planning to do renovation the roof, that's really expensive. Really expensive. Because it's now starting work fresh again. So we wouldn't want to do that anytime soon. That's why I've said probably if we do it in the next 3-4 decades to come, that would easily make sense. Yeah. But so far I'm so happy and so excited with the work. The guys that did the wall did a perfect job, because they are the guys that started all the way from the foundation to the gable or to the lintel, and we brought the second team who did the roofing. Then the third team are the guys that did the windows, the doors, and also the inner door frames. And I think they're the same guys that will also put on the inner doors, probably. So on the house, we've only used 3 people. The guys that did the foundation and the wall, the guys that did the roofing, and the guys that did the windows, the doors, and the inner door frames. So only 3 groups of personnel, and I think that one we've really tried. I've seen houses where people use so many personnel to just complete a house, and you know, different people have different skill sets. They differ on how they handle their craft. So if you mix so many people on the wall alone, I think that one will, because someone might easily see the difference. But if you only use one group of people or personnel just to do the wall, then the other group to do the roofing, then the other group to put on the electrical work. Actually, the guy that even did for us electrical work is my cousin, so he hasn't really completed because we haven't done plastering. So we have to do on the plastering. We have to put the sockets, then do plastering. We can't do plastering before putting on the sockets. So one step leads to the next step, like that. So far so good. The roof is still holding nicely and firmly. No, when we were putting this color, this maroon, my mom chose it, and a few of my cousins were telling me, and even friends, we live in the village, they were asking actually, because nowadays most iron sheets tend to fade. Some takes like 2 years, 3, can go some even take like 5 years to fade. So they were telling me, because of the color, if it fades, it will look ugly. Yes, let me just say it. So I never really, I just told them, what I think I said was, I think I told them time will tell. But what they also don't know is that roofings are not meant to last forever. That's one thing. Even if you use wooden roofs, even if you use roofing tiles, and even if you use these sheets, they will never last forever. At a point, you'll have to renovate the house, because even the house itself, even paints, even if you paint a house, it will soon fade, so that you can repaint it again. So I think people tend to imagine that if you build a house, then that's it, you just leave it. No, it doesn't work like that. Houses need to be renovated, just like machines need to be serviced. Just like us humans, for us to continue living, we need to take care of our health and so on. So it's a continuous work, and it's something that never stops. And if you accept it as early as possible, I think the sooner you accept it, the sooner it gets better, because you'll now keep that in mind, that you will have to renovate your house at a certain point. But if you insist on maybe looking for the I'm not trying to say that we used a very bad iron sheet, because we took the iron sheet straight from the factory. And factories usually have in Kenya we call them kebs. They are the quality standard something. They just check the standard or the quality of goods before they are released into the market. So I'm very much sure with our iron sheet, it might take maybe 3 decades or 4 for us to change it, but that one is a lifetime. That's 4 decades is a very long time. So I'm very sure with that, with the guys, with the company, and they are still working, because they are reliable. Because if they were producing very bad iron sheets, people would have been complaining. So far, I think I was just talking much on the roofing, because of the season. We have to check some parts, which is I think this part of me checking the house just to confirm a few things is so important, because if I don't, then I don't know what will happen. Maybe we'll have problems in while we move further with the house. But if you check it, because if we could have had any problem, if we could have had, yes, that was the first thing we could have solved. But since we don't have, I'm so happy we are gonna move just straight to the next step, and so on. So it's nice to see that our work is paying off. And also I'm very happy that all the personnel that we've engaged with in building are very skilled people who know what they are doing, because we don't have to do or to redo their work again. So far it's so good. Maybe if we notice a problem later on, it will be fixed, but for now everything is in perfect shape. So before, let me just because it was just a short update on how far maybe the house is, on how the house is going, or how do I say it, on the it was an update on the progress of the house. Yes, so I won't really talk much today, and I'll just ask you, wherever you are, just take care of yourself. I'm seeing my mom is still planting. No, I think she's remaining with just a bit, just some small part. She's planting grass. Let me just show you how the grass looks like. It's very stunning. So see how the grass looks like. So this was the first part we planted, all the way from that side to the other end, and we planted behind the bananas. Then now she's continuing down a little bit. So once she finishes, she will just leave them to grow, or maybe after that ask someone to help her and weed, because you have to take care of the grass in order to grow, because they are competing. So this normal grass and the one that she has planted, they'll forever compete until the one that she has planted covers the whole place. That's when she can now leave them and just maintain the height. Some people use lawnmower, some people use slashers. Over here in our home, we use neither of those. We use cattle, because we have some cattle, so we usually just leave them to eat grass in the compound. It's really safe with the work of feeding them, so we don't really slash. We leave the grass for them to feed on. Yeah, so as I said, just take care of yourself. Today's was a nice day. It's very clear day. I like the sun, because for the first few days it has been really raining. So if we have sun today, at least it compensates for the days. So take care of yourself, and let's meet in my next video. Bye bye.